Who are you? I don't know, but I'm writing to you anyway. Where are you? How far in the future? Where'd you find my journal? I may never know, but you can know me from what I put down on these pages. I come from a little village in the mountains. No one has left here since before I was born. But our lives changed overnight, just a few days ago when my best friend had a prophetic dream. A vision that the elder said means this season is going to end soon. The world is about to enter a new era. A great change is coming. Everyone was afraid. I was surrounded by questions and I began to feel how little I know. What is this season that is about to end, and why is it ending? What exactly is out there that could turn the world inside out? If there are still voices singing and laughing in the wilderness, I could record them before they're gone. I also thought of my dad, who always wanted to see the outside world but never did. So, I asked if I could leave. The elder had one condition for letting me go: that I take what I collect to the museum vault, a palace of art and memory at the edge of the earth. She says it's the only place safe from the turmoil of a changing season. I hope that's where you're reading this now. I can't stop the change that is coming, but this time on Earth could live on in these pages. What it looks like, sounds like, how it feels to be alive right now. I'm writing to you at the crack of dawn on the morning I leave home. I can smell breakfast cooking in the other room, and I can hear my mom's voice.
Three, two, one. Hooray! Mr. Lotto's here.
My bag and Dad's camera, ready for the great departure. The burner's on the table, ready to make a pendant. Mom is cooking sweet bark soup. She got out some old tapes.
You're up. What are you doing standing there? Time to get going. It's gonna be a beautiful morning. I'm making progress. I found the burner, camera, recorder, travel bag. Breakfast is in progress. Still gotta make a pendant. We haven't used this in so long. Good thing I saved the instructions. Just as you would use a shield to protect your body, an identity pendant protects your mind. Your thoughts, memories, everything that makes you, you. We don't wear them here in the village anymore. But if you're going into the outside world, I'll feel better when you've got a pendant shielding you. Diseases of the mind, like the dream sickness. We don't know what caused it. We heard people suddenly fell into an eternal sleep. These were years of wild rumors, and half of them turned out to be true. In times of war, a pendant can be used to identify a body. Let's skip that part. Objects have two layers, the physical and the mental. The pendant needs to absorb both. 1. Collect a sentimental object for each sense: sound, smell, feel, sight, taste. 2. Feel the sense and speak aloud a memory of the object. 3. Feed the object into the burner. The memory will leave the speaker as it is transferred to the pendant. That means I'll forget the memory after I say it. It's supposed to be painless, at least. No, you must remember everything. That's your role. Okay, so this old tape should work for our sense of sound. I remember. You and I fell asleep listening to this tape. Where that came from? We all rested together until it got dark. What an odd feeling. Like an absence, disappearing. The empty space fills itself back in until I forget that I forgot anything at all. I'm glad I'm only losing a few memories. If I lost too many, I wouldn't even know who you are. You should pick the rest of the objects. I'll lose the memories, but you'll have them in a pendant forever. So they should be important to you. They should be parts of your identity you want to be sure to protect. So think about what these items and what the memories would preserve about you. Let's do smell next. Find an object with a strong odor and that holds a piece of you.
Ancient, perfume, sweet. Nothing is ever lost. Sour, handshake, sweat. I always had the intuition the world could change completely. Honey, wax, baby, waves. I was loved by people I have no memory of.
What did you choose for smell? Let's breathe in deep. Your dad used to bring these flowers home from his climbs. They only grow high up in the mountains. He was a great climber. He even found us a new source of water. I hoped after he would climb less, maybe even retire. But he always wanted to explore, and the only direction to go was up. Maybe the Elder is letting you leave out of guilt for what happened to your dad. If someone has the energy to leave, it needs to go somewhere. He fell into the Fitz ravine. We never found his body. But doesn't he rest with us at night? Doesn't he appear in our dreams? How can such a human being depart this earth without leaving behind a trace? A trace as strong as the flowers would still have their scent. Darling, I don't want to lose this one. I can't lose this one. Can we put the flowers back, please? Yes, you're right. Now touch. Pick something with a texture you like.
Dry. Slime. I always had the intuition the world could change completely.
So what did you end up choosing? Okay, feel the paper. I remember. These were your grandmother's. It's called money. She had saved it, some superstition. When she died, we were going to throw it away. But you said keep it. You said it could become important again. Like you already knew, at that young age, how much the world could change. I'm fine. Let's do sight next. Pick something that looks nice.
Worn cover. How I always wanted to meet these strangers. poisoned, blue, shine. I look closely.
So, what did you end up choosing? When you were a little kid and I'd wash your pants, I'd check the pockets and find all kinds of little things you'd collected off the ground. Rocks, leaves, bits of string, and bugs. It happened less and less as you got older. But I remember the afternoon I found this beautiful blue beetle in your pocket. I thought, oh, this might be the last time. And this dead insect suddenly became so precious to me. What is it in our young eyes that imbue every small thing with meaning? Why do we lose this? I don't think you ever did. For taste, we can eat breakfast and feed some to the burner. The memory I'll lose is the one we're forming right now. I want you to have it forever. Standing here, you're having a last taste of home. Now you're protected by lost memories. A gem of home around your neck. This is my only condition for letting you go. You must promise me never to take the pendant off. And never tamper with it. Okay? Then I'm okay with you leaving. I think your camera and bag are still in your room. It's time to gather them up. I've lost so much. How could the world ask me to lose you too? Look at us. There we are. There we were. We'll always be right here on this beautiful morning.
I just performed a ritual with my mom. The moment has passed, but I'll record it in these pages for you, for the future. I never knew when my mom would share a memory of Dad, while cooking, on a walk, with no warning. It knocked the wind out of me. Rituals take this grief and give it a shape and a story. Filling in this journal is a ritual too, but for a loss that hasn't hit us yet. I've brought tools to record the sights and sounds of this season. I'll start by recording the only place I've ever known. Public sleep music is a tradition of ours here. When the music ends, the village will begin to wake up. Last night there was a goodbye party here in the plaza. Everyone was so afraid for me. To understand that fear, to understand where I grew up, you have to know the man standing watch over the plaza, Dr. Fumio. Last night my friends wrote down their hopes for my trip and tied them to the branches of this tree. A wish fell off the tree. I'm not supposed to read them, but it might be good for you to have an example of one. I can go against tradition a little for posterity. Smells like an old man's toes dipped in cinnamon. I had to drink this gross potion last night. Like my pendant, it's supposed to protect my brain. This is a healing instrument created by Dr. Fumio. It draws on the pure mountain air. Dr. Fumio and his son founded Karo back in 776. They live on through our traditions. There are 3 murals celebrating Dr. Fumio's work. There's something eerie about an instrument that plays itself. But wind chimes aren't eerie. I think the self-playing instrument needs to imply the presence of a person who isn't there, like this one does, to be properly eerie. This is Dr. Fumio and his son. The statue isn't as old as it looks. The artist wore it down to give it a feeling of ancientness and the authority that comes with it. Pate loves fish, even though nobody here has ever seen one. The elder sought out Dr. Fumio to cure her mother, who was suffering from time misperception. The ruins in the distance were used to make us afraid of the outside world. Dangerous and impossible to reach, they said. A village that was created as a place to heal. Is that where my instinct to try to help comes from? It's so strange to imagine I'll be shaped by places and people I haven't met yet. So strange to imagine that I might feel at home somewhere else. I go fishing here with my best friend Pate, even though there's nothing to catch. We both appreciate the silence. Kero Village was founded during the modernity. Much later, Dr. Fumio arrived and remade it in his image. This flower means you're in my thoughts. The morning after the search was called off for Dad, our doorstep was covered in them.
Is it recording?
Yes.
Okay. How to leave home for my daughter. Find a sacred square of earth. Lay down so you have the dirt at your back. Close your eyes. Close everything. Do you see for yourself? You see for the dead, for the unborn. Do you listen for yourself? You listen for the dead, for the unborn. Your ancestors are in that dirt. All the living and all the dead are holding you up. Now, stand. They're still there, aren't they? It's time to move, to entangle yourself everywhere with everyone. So the next time you lay down in the dirt, you will have so much more to tell them.
Pate fixed up 3 bikes instead of 1. They were right. The letter never made it. The season before this one, the war, seems so horrible. That poor baby. Before the war, the village exported treatments created by Dr. Fumio. These packages never made it to their destination. Traders used to come to the outskirts of the village. The war put an end to this. I heard that village was abandoned because of a mind disease. Not every community had someone like Dr. Fumio to perform cures. From the village, these cranes look like little creatures, grazing. I had no idea how huge they are. We learned about old technology in school, but not much about animals. What are these strange goat-like creatures? Are they simply goats? My first time petting an animal. I think it went pretty well. That time it felt off. I guess I had beginner's luck before. Okay, now I got it back. I'm in control. I can easily pet certain four-legged animals. I cycled through landscapes, seeing them for the first and last time. I had no idea when I left my home how the season would end, or more importantly, how soon. On a cold, damp day, I feel true loneliness for the first time. Nobody could have described with words how big this world is, how it goes and goes. I passed through it, where others passed before me. The blades turn, but I bet they don't generate any power. Probably just swirling the air around. Someone was out here alone. One melody is like me. I have a feeling they use these music boxes to fall asleep. They kept themselves company with music. Two voices is like me and my mom. We can survive, but eventually you need more. Three voices is complex as life is supposed to be. I could listen forever. Looks like they made it out of here. But what is this group? In the empty places, I found companionship in the tapes I recorded before leaving home. The elder told me the story of her life. I listened back to it, ready to note down anything that seemed important.
Let's set the scene for the listener, whoever that might be. This is the elder speaking. We're sitting in the plaza, saying goodbye to a dear soul. We're here to see if there's anything useful in my mind that could help you on your trip. A century's worth of memories, dreams, fantasies, visions, like a big, old, haunted library. When I die, this library will burn down. But which book should we check out first? I don't have all the answers, but I do feel the story of my life could help you understand what kind of world is out there. It's okay not to understand everything right away. The moment may pass before you've gotten a firm hold on it. But as long as you're there to witness it, to take it down in your journal, you and others to come will someday take the time to make sense of it all. Francis Cale, if you must know. You can call me Frank, or Elder, or the Elder, or Elder Frank. You know, whatever. I don't care. I was born on the ocean. My mother and father worked on a cruise ship, the short-lived but glorious Watery Republics. Floating cities. Most won their independence by the time I was born. How can I describe them? They were a jewel of the golden season. Pleasure boats with a radical political program. How nice. The Golden Age was a time of flags, logos, mottos, mastheads. My mom taught me to read them. She was the ship's philosopher. My dad was a recycling engineer. Recycling on the ship was a matter of life and death. We had to get the most out of every object and watt of energy. My grandparents played with the past. They changed it like we change our wardrobe. So it was a different answer every time. But they often said we were exiles of some kind. Exiled royalty from a secret lineage. Blood that glows in the dark. Or we're exiled from the mouth of some great leviathan. When they were older, they just said, we're from here. We're from right now. I loved the way the ship would tilt and roll with the waves, especially as I fell asleep. It was so comforting. Picture me as a kid in bed, feeling the swaying of the ship. It was like being rocked to sleep as a baby. I loved exploring the ship, too. Wandering through the suites, the swimming pool, the game rooms. There were 2 dance halls. A large, elegant one and another one in the basement. A lot of my firsts were down there. My first dance, my first kiss, and so forth. Our ship was taken over in the early days of the war. That was the end of the Watery Republics. I heard the dance hall in the basement became a weapons cache. Took me half my life to say goodbye to the world I knew in my youth. Imagine me and my parents and everyone I knew being escorted off the ship by a company of soldiers. And I'm thinking, I hope they don't make a mess of my room. I was embarrassed by the younger kids who were crying their eyes out. But they knew, I guess. Yes, the start of the war was a turning of seasons. And we had been warned this season was going to end. Oh, but we didn't understand the warning. You see, one night, along a coastline, we saw beautiful lights shimmering above the water. Later, we found out this was an ancient warning system. It hadn't been used in so long, we didn't know what it meant. We just thought, well, ain't that pretty? We tried to stick together and camped out on the coast of the prismatic grounds. I thought it was all temporary. I couldn't see how things would return to normal. But I was sure they would. Aside from that delusion, I was okay. Are you sure you want me to keep going? The story gets darker from here on. That was plenty. I want you to have a safe and beautiful trip. Never feel alone. We'll all be here thinking of you.
I imagined coming upon a place as hidden and singular as my own village. Eventually, I found myself circling a valley, looking for a way in.